my small aquarium pump failed, so I decided to try a do-it-yourself repair. First, the unit was unplugged and the cover was taken off. These 4 screws on the bottom secure it to the pump's base. I remove them and the cover comes off. Looks like most of the other small aquarium pumps I've seen. Some sort of an electromagnet actuates a permanent magnet that's attached to a lever. A diaphragm that's attached to the lever does the job of moving the air. I'll plug the pump in to demonstrate the problem, but I don't touch it while it's plugged in and the cover's removed, for safety reasons. The electromagnetic components as well as the diaphragm seem to be working fine. However, it's not pumping much air, and blocking the airflow is way too easy. After unplugging the pump, I take a closer look. This lever works okay, as does the diaphragm, so I carefully remove the diaphragm from the valve assembly to inspect further. The valve assembly now conveniently pops out, after it was pried on a little bit. Now I see what the issue is. The little flexible flapper for the one-way check valve appears to have broken. After removing this retainer, the remains of the broken piece are pried out and examined. This component of the valve is very flexible. It looks like silicone to me, but I don't know. Something stiffer but still thin, flat, and smooth like a piece cut from this plastic lid could work. I bet a small piece cut from the corner of this silicone baking mat could work well. Might seal better since it's so flexible, but must be smooth on at least one side. Even paper could work okay in a pinch, if it's thick enough. This junk mail has a smooth, glossy surface that should seal well against the valve seat. May not last though. I ended up using part of this package because it's pretty stiff for how thin it is. I wanted to experiment with some firmer valve flaps to help get a better idea of what materials will work when making replacements. The new flapper I cut for the check valve is really scratched on one side, but the other side is fine. So I put the fairly smooth, unscratched side of the flap toward the little hole that it's meant to seal against. The retainer for the valve flap was pressed in, and then the other check valve that's located on the opposite side was inspected. It's fine, and there are no other blockages of any kind, so I continue reassembly. These valves are fairly clean because I only used this pump for about 3 months before the failure happened. I tried to find a replacement for the broken part, but could only find one in a $10 rebuild kit. Didn't feel like paying that price, so I chose this free option instead. After the valve body and pump diaphragm are reassembled, I test it. Seems to be working okay. Pumps air pretty well, so I unplugged the pump and finished reassembly. The cover goes back on and is fastened with the screws. Works great. Hope it lasts. This pump works, but isn't as strong as it once was. When the cover is removed, I see a familiar sight, as most of the small aquarium pumps I've used are similar in their construction. The valve body, diaphragm, and lever assembly all come out together in this design. Some of the valve components are pretty much the same as the previously shown pump. After I cleaned the valves, the airflow was back to normal. The pump with dual outlets, shown here, is over 10 years old and wasn't moving enough air. After disassembly, I noticed how dirty the valves were and cleaned them, which ended up fixing the problem. I show that valve cleaning in another video. The do-it-yourself replacement piece seems to work as good as the original, but I'll know more after about a month of use. Well, I waited about a month after the repair to make this video, and I haven't noticed any problems with it during that time. I go ahead and open up the pump anyway because I want to inspect the modified check valve. Looks the same as it did when it was cut out. A stiff piece of plastic was used as an experiment just to see if it would work, and it did, but I believe a more flexible material might be better. Not sure though. For now, I'm going to stick with the hard plastic and call it fixed. Thanks for watching.